Old Red. You ever work with somebody nicknamed Old Red before?
I can't say I have.
The guy in the sporting goods
pretty
department at Kmart when I was in electronics. I used to drop off at the bar after, but he may have been Old Blue.
Oh, you got Old Blue.
Yeah.
Blue light special.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Tell us about Old Red.
Old Red. Let me tell you about Old Red. Well, one day, Old Red, he made a little boo-boo in the office. All right. Not as in a doo-doo boo-boo, but he made a little mistake. And what Old Red did was he accidentally uploaded some personal photos onto a very public work drive. And
Whoopsie daisy.
yeah, and he didn't realize that he had done that. He did not realize he had done that. But you know who did? Pretty much the rest of the
Everyone
office.
else, right?
Right.
Much the rest of the office.
When one person finds that out, they tell somebody, and that person's not Old Blue. That is the next person, and then that's everybody.
Yeah, old green, old yellow, all the colors.
Every color except for the Buh and Biv.
Yeah, Roy J. Biv.
Oh,
everybody,
he's red. My guy was
everybody.
blue. Sorry.
Office kind of figured that out, and it comes to HR, and so we call Red in. We ask him. We say, "Hey, did you upload some photos onto the shared drive, right, into a shared folder?" And he says, No, can't say I did. Nope, didn't do that. Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't accidentally put some personal photos into the work drive? No, I don't think I did. You turn the monitor around. Is this you? And it's a big flaming red bush and a penis.
Fire crotch.
It's a fire crotch. It's official.
Oh my God.
Why do you think he's called Old Red? There's no other redhead in this office, sir.
We've
Is this
examined
you?
everyone.
We've examined
You're
everybody.
the last slipper. We've checked Cinderella. It is you.
Oh, is this not you? Is this not your work?
It literally says uploaded by Old Red.
For real.
By
For real.
The metadata will get you every time.
Yes,
Wait,
the metadata. So you just kind of
He
flip it around.
uploaded a
and-
dick pic?
How did
A
he?
whole bunch of them. Yeah, so his personal collection, I think, it just accidentally,
well,
ended up in
How
the
did he
shared drive.
respond? Please.
Oh, he turned red. He turned red
Old Red
everywhere.
turned red.
Yeah, up and down, the curtains, everything
Oh my
turned
God,
red. You know what I
stop.
mean? So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, he was pretty red there. A bit embarrassed, right?
Yeah.
But was just, they just kind of hang their head instantly. They're thinking, right? That's typically the first response, anyway, that I've seen.
Yeah, to look at his
Yeah.
penis. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like,
Oh, yeah, that is my penis.
Like, how am I
I'm
gonna
just
explain
confirming by
this?
looking down.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, well,
Oh.
today's your last day.
Oh, okay.
It really is,
Yeah.
And so, we do frown upon uploading pictures or genitals. That's not what we hired you for. It's, not official work business here. But I know it's your business. You got a lot of business going on. You run a small
Small
business.
business.
I know you run a small LLC, but that's okay. You're a sole proprietorship. I get it. We all got to start somewhere, I guess. We all got to
Shop
make a
local.
buck.
Oh my God.
Damn. Shit. Small business Saturday. Okay. Oh man. But yeah. So anyway, that's how he got the nickname Old Red. But yeah.
That's
so
like
when
getting a
you're the
nickname
only
on your way out.
Yeah, exactly. And so forever he lives as Old Red in our hearts
Wow.
and our minds because we can't wash our minds.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, first of all, when you were saying we, I was wondering, why did you have more than one person? The answers that based on the nature of the conversation. But I mean, was it a mistake? Is there a world that you can envision that the employer would not end his employment because it was an innocent mistake? Maybe he wouldn't want to work there anymore. But
Not with that.
Okay.
That's hard to walk back from. And especially in that workplace,
Yeah.
we ain't walking that back. You can't unerect that. You know what I'm
Literally.
saying?
Yeah,
you
no,
just can't.
literally.
I know that's
And
right. But
it's
so you got to be careful.
on the drive. You do. There's some things you can't, and nor would he probably would have done quit. I mean, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right. You
There's some
can't-
things you can't
Right.
I'll never forget at another employer, just a quickie, just a
Ooh.
quickie. But somebody on a global call they were in Asia, and they work. They're going into kind of U.S. meetings at, let's say, midnight or so. You're right, off hours. Or you've done that with Australia. You're kind of catching it. Anyway, this guy accidentally got into the call, but his camera turned on. He was laying naked in his bed. And people started dinging him, and he just ghosted. He literally just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, right.
He just didn't show back up. I mean, closed the laptop, and he's like, "Oh, and that job is over."
Yep.
And he mailed it, and we are done here.
I think I would be so mortified that you would like. I really would fall off the face of the earth.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my God, just lounging naked on a call, and the whole global community sees it.
Usually, even if it was late, I don't like. That's not going to happen for me. But yeah, like wow.
You're not just lounging naked on your
not
bed.
Right. Because I guess
call.
that's that. Right. You really can't. You can't really.
Because you can never be too careful. Like you know what I mean with the video calls. Like I'm always like triple checking and continuously throughout the meeting.
After
am I still on?
After listening to this, I'm even more so.
And like even like the little laptop cover thing. Like I've got, not only do I have it closed on the laptop, but then I have the one that I got from that random conference.
Yeah,
that's covering my laptop, and I'm like obsessively checking to make sure, like,
just in case.
Yeah, close it harder.
Yeah,
exactly. Nope. Nope.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, kind of just a little advice from the water cooler.
But you ever look him up on LinkedIn?
Don't upload your junk. No.
Okay.
I've looked up to him.
She saw enough of
You don't need to see anymore.
I've seen what I need to see, and that's about
what you didn't need to see. And,
well, there you go. Man, I've seen a lot of junk
career.
in HR. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's true.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Just a lot of junk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, on that note, let's transition into our meeting for today. Thank you so much for joining us, besties. Let me do just a quick run through of the agenda. So to start, of course, we love to kick off our meetings with a little cringe corporate speak. And today's cringe corporate speak is brought to us by Ashley. So thank you in advance for covering that portion of the meeting, Ashley. And then we will transition into our hot topic of this meeting, which is all about imposter syndrome. Ooh, imposter syndrome. So what is it? We're going to learn about that, and what do we do about it or don't? All the myths, all the things, right? Imposter syndrome. And then, of course, as we usually do, we will end the meeting with some questions and comments. All right, Ashley, take it away.
Okay. So my cringe corporate speak for today is right size.
Oh, if it's the intro story.
It's wrong size. And where you tend to hear right size is in a layoff announcement. And an organization, again, we've talked about this in our layoff episode, they never want to call the layoff. So sometimes they will call it a right size. And that feels very, very wrong to really everybody. The people who have been laid off and the people who are staying, who were like, well, now I feel especially guilty that I'm right and they're not. And so it's a very callous way of saying, our numbers were off and we're going to make decisions and people are going to lose their jobs. But we'll call it right size. So have you all heard this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's exactly it too, right? It's what you said. Like, oh, we were so wrong before. We fucked up, but we can't say we fucked up by getting too fat and inflating numbers or having duplicitous work or just, managing things like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're going to right size. Like it puts lipstick on the pig to use a previous corporate speak that we've covered and just kind of, now, just absolves the sins. Yeah. It's all fine here.
We have to do it. We really have to. It's not our choice.
Exactly.
We have to.
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yeah. I've heard it in that very sense of like a layoff.
Yeah. Just
now we're right. Now things are good because we got rid of all those people.
Just call it a layoff. Say this is it. You recognize this. But don't make.
So we were wrong size before.
Exactly.
Right. Don't make people feel worse
up
on the way out. That's it. That's the saying. So yes, right size. If we can just do away with that term entirely,
I know
we'd at least make we move the needle slightly in our corporate world.
What about fun size?
I am fun sized.
Yeah, I say it because if I'm short.
Yeah,
because
I'm size.
Y'all
short.
call yourselves fun size.
Fun size.
Oh, that's
fun
cute.
size.
Yeah.
Like I can just pop you in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Put you in my pocket.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
Here
like
we
a
are.
candy
that's
bar.
cute.
Fun size.
Sticking out. That's it.
So I'm king size. What the hell am I? You know? This
Queen size.
Big old
Queen
thing.
size. Queen size. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
damn. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, me and my queen size self. I guess we'll transition us to the main topic of our meeting, which is all things imposter syndrome. We get a lot of questions on this, don't we? And this is always a hot topic on the socials as well. But what is it? So Ashley, our resident imposter syndrome expert.
So imposter syndrome. So the term was created in the 70s by two female PhDs who actually did the most of their teaching studies in Atlanta, where I'm from, at Georgia State University.
Oh, wow.
But they actually do not like the term imposter syndrome. They call it imposter phenomenon. Because they said syndrome makes it sound like a sickness,
Yeah,
an illness,
yeah,
like
yeah.
something's wrong with
'Cause
you.
it is.
But they said phenomenon because it appears, and it tends to, they say it tends to appear more the more successful that you are. And so when you hear imposter syndrome, just know that the people who are it created,
Yeah.
they say imposter phenomenon. So it's not something, there's not something wrong with you. It's something that happens to you. And so the idea of it though is that you feel like you don't deserve what's happened to you. It is this self-doubt. Everyone else is out to get you or assuming the worst, and bad things are going to happen. And they actually saw it come from two places. In childhood, like most of, I'm sure, Lee, like you know from all of your psychology studies. But they said it comes from two places. One is if people were children and you had like an older sibling who was more like smarter than you, or athletic, and your parents always praised that sibling. And so you always felt like you weren't enough. The flip side was whether you were an only child or had siblings, but your parents heaped praise on you and you're amazing, you're the best, and then you went into the world or had disappointment and the world, kicked your ass, and you thought, well, now wait, what my parents said to me, I can't trust that because I'm not as great as I thought I was, because the good things aren't happening to me or bad things are happening to me, and I didn't think that was going to be the case. So they root some of that in childhood, but overall it's this idea that when you get success, you feel like it's not something that you deserve, and that everyone's going to figure it out, and that bad things are going to happen to you once that does. So the question is, do you all feel this way ever?
I mean, definitely on a daily basis.
And I think that would be surprising to people listening, because I think there are people that would listen and think, all right, we have this podcast. You have, 87 gazillion followers on social media. You have these things. So like, why would you ever feel inadequate or whatever feeling that you have?
I did have an older sibling, but he was never in the house with me. So I grew up more like an only child. And I was just so listening to that, I was like kind of reflecting. And I'm like, not that my parents didn't praise me or anything, but I definitely think I struggle, like I'm not worthy, or a lot of times like I've been stopping myself recently, but I'm lucky. But really, I've worked my ass off for everything that where I am today.
Right.
And sometimes I don't even give myself credit for all the work that I've done to be where I am.
Right.
And I say, well, it's luck.
Yeah.
Maybe 5% luck. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's that adage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. The more successful I am, the luckier I am.
Yeah.
I seem to be, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? I suck at adages, But, I feel like maybe I was feeling imposter phenomenon maybe earlier in my career.
Okay.
But it's rare that I feel that lately. It really is. Like as I continue to evolve as a professional and a person and, have, I don't know, just like with such intent moved in a certain direction, like, and, I'm chasing joy and all of this. I'm finally in a spot where I don't feel like I'm having to fake anything, right? Like I don't feel like an imposter or a fish out of water, or like I don't belong, because I've created like this own space for myself, especially now that I'm like a business owner and, I'm not in corporate anymore. So I don't have all of that bullshit, to worry about. I just feel as though like, as I have, I don't know, like just become more me over time. I just don't really give a shit. Y'all know that about me. I don't give a shit about what really people say so much or do. And so I don't have kind of that pressure of, am I fulfilling something? Am I undeserving? Undeserving to who? I don't know, right? It's just, but I feel like, probably earlier in my career, especially, nobody looked like me ever that I worked with. And so there was this sense of I don't belong anywhere. Right. I'm undeserving to be here because I don't fit here. There's no Hispanic females. There's no females. There's no this. There's no that. I'm surrounded by, white men in all these boardrooms. And, so I had very few mentors, so shout out for representation. I'll tell you what, because the second I finally could see like female executives and whatnot, I can be that too, right? I mean, it's so powerful. Right. So I was probably I know that I was feeling odd, but I've always felt odd because I've been 5'11" since like 5th grade with, big ass feet and a big head disease. I mean, what I mean? I've just been odd, uncanny, so.
Feel
so I don't know. Like, it's weird. Maybe I was always an imposter. And then I'd like flip to where, you know what, I'm going to create my own space. So now I'm not impostoring shit. I'm just going to be weird over here. I don't know. I'm kind of just like ranting. I'm thinking, right, out loud.
Well, that's what this is. I mean, it's so bad. It's a conversation. And we don't, we're talking like we have talked about, we're not scripted.
Yeah, we don't script shit.
We're talking. And so I think I think there's a lot of it out there, and I do think it's a lot of looking and its perspective. Wait, do people look the way I do? If I have tattoos, do I see people with tattoos? The way I speak, where do I fit in? Or this person sounds or seems so intelligent. And so I think there's a lot of like that doubting and questioning, and you can have it no matter, I think, your levels of success. Like now, we have this podcast. So I talked recently I've given talks on imposter syndrome, and I talk about this, like we're on this podcast. And we will say to, especially as we do things, we have collective, at this point, we're going to have 4 million followers on social media. That's crazy. Well, if you want to look down percentages, I mean, I did it. I like my percentage of it is like a little thimble compared to Lee and Jamie. And so I could very easily look around and say, well, I don't belong here because I don't have the numbers, the statistics. And you can look at that in the workplace. I don't have the years of experience that somebody else has. But your qualities, wherever it is, I mean, in this, it's taken me time to get through that and realize like, I have a perspective to bring, and it's different. And like, you're not, I assume people aren't listening. Well, I guarantee you people are going to listen to this podcast and be like, who's, look at our data and be like, and not like leave a comment. Someone's going to leave a comment. It's going to get like 23 likes to be like loser. And then, but the best part is other people, Jamie will come after him.
Jamie will get
savage.
But it was interesting because when I was speaking, and there was an engineering professor who's now very experienced in her career. And she shared something with me. And I asked her, I said, would you feel comfortable sharing this in front of the audience? And she said, sure. She said, when she got out of grad school, the first class she was going to speak, she's like, the thing that was really preoccupying my mind is, what do I wear to teach this class? Because she's like, I'd never had a female engineering professor. And she's like, we're going to be, do I dress in a suit? But we're kind of going to be hands-on. Do I dress for a function? And she's like, this is literally spiraling what I was thinking about. And she's like, now I look around and I'm so happy to see more representation in that area. But I think a lot of people feel really alone. And so if you're listening to this and you think of something and your thoughts to yourself are, this is so stupid, I think about this is so dumb, you beat yourself up for this. No, each of us have had these circumstances, and the most successful people male and female, they have situations where they fixate on something inside themselves, and that is normal and that is common. But what that is not is necessary. And you are your unique self, whatever your years of experience, whatever your approach is, you are needed, and your voice is valued in your workplace and in your life. And so owning that. So some of the question is I've gotten often are, okay, people have it. So what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do about it?
So Jamie, what do you do to combat imposter syndrome? It can feel like a battle. I use that word intentionally. It can feel like a fight, but what do you do?
So I think you need to focus on the facts. So what are the facts? How did you get to where you are? What have you done? And so your accolades. And I said it in, I don't know what season or on an episode, but, keep that why I am the shit folder, your kudos folder of the accolades that you've received from your peers, your coworkers, your boss. And look back at that. Use that as your opportunity to almost hype yourself up.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. if we were like, let's say something happened and it wasn't the podcast as a whole, it was Jamie. You received an award for the host and your career, and you received this big time award. What would you get that for?
Being a good person, probably.
But is that uncomfortable though for me to ask you that and you to think about, like, list off the qualities of yourself that are like award winning and good? Does it feel?
I mean, of course, for me, yes.
Okay, so Lee, if Jamie were to win an award, like a big award, what would she get? What would she be getting honored for?
Is it work related or just like generally in life?
Sure, generally, whichever one. But can you think about things you think Jamie would get awarded for?
Yeah, I mean, literally of just being like top employee, like competent, kind, supportive, like all the things, like the rock star employee. I feel like your eyes are watering.
That's it, but they are. Yeah. Well, how do you like how your cup right now? How does it feel?
Well, good, of course. I mean, y'all haven't actually worked with me though. So.
Yes, we have. That's not true. That's not true. We have a business.
What
we
the fuck is this?
No,
I'm literally
Jamie
I'm writing this off. Don't say that online. I
run to go fill a glass of water, and Jamie's like, I built this color-coded spreadsheet showing all of our different juices. Oh my god. Okay, but you hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
being clutch.
So
in all things.
if Lee were to win some award, what would she get generally?
Being a fucking badass.
That's funny because in my mind it's going to be badass bitch.
Okay, so you feel compelled. But how does it feel to hear Jamie? And feel free to go on. But the things like what are things that you feel about Lee that like you're like you are so good for, and maybe it feels kind of like weird to be on the spot for me to be like tell her good things.
No, well, and I actually said this before we jumped on the podcast, but like you're incredibly intelligent, you're confident, you are very personable, you're very loving, and obviously I've gotten the opportunity to get to know you over the last like little over a year, I think, when we started texting about this podcast.
When we started talking.
Because she's misting. Like if someone cries, I'd cry.
I know.
I'm a highly sensitive person.
God, look at us being all fucking.
I know. But we're also a little buzzed.
I mean, like I could go on and on.
Right.
Like,
oh, thank you.
Lee is a badass bitch. She's got your back.
Yeah.
She's gonna hype you up. She's incredibly empathetic.
Yeah.
And she's a hard worker.
I bring this up as an example, not just like, you guys, we got a lot of great people in this room, but it's really is to say like there, and people have varying ways. Like Lee definitely has Lee has one of Lee's one of Lee's non-toxic traits is a level of genuine confidence.
Yeah.
And that's not to say there's not
there's
not situations where you also haven't had sensitive situations, and we've been like we got you, and we got you, but
especially unknown situations.
But people have varying levels, and one of the things that you can do, and you don't have to be a top leader. It doesn't matter what your role is, but is to know in the workplace, every single person there is going through some shit, and it doesn't have to be a corny exercise of get your team in a room and be like, tell me what you like about this person. But think about this, and whether you use ChatGPT and are like, tell me ways I can do, but like for people to hear good things about themselves at work. There are people that go their entire careers without hearing this level of appreciation. But sometimes it can just feel so good to hear people tell you what they genuinely see in you that you may not realize that other people see. So putting that lens on can be the best gift you give someone in their entire career. So that's why I did that trust exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I think you're spot on. I think we really focus a lot. We work collective is what I mean. Societal. We love to just stay in that negative space, that development space, that feedback space, the constructive feedback space, right? It's very rare we come over here. It's probably literally 10% of the time. The appreciation space, the recognition space, the validation space, when really we'd get so more out of ourselves and people if that was expanded, if it was opposite, 90-10, you know what I mean? It really would just the difference, like that would make, right? It would really uplift and empower so many people.
But it is. But some of the strategies is thinking about, and some of this is talking to your team. I mean, one of the things, and this isn't just your junior people coming out of some entry level program, but this is people, and just saying strategies of like thinking about how to lift yourself up and lifting each other and having those mantras. And those are really important, or having pretend conversations. That's one of the strategies that I've seen I talk about is like, okay, give that. What if something were to go wrong? And you start playing it out in your head. Well, okay, then you realize that people probably aren't all going to hate me. Because also one thing that's really important people don't realize is whenever you're doing something, if you're giving a presentation, the people that matter, that truly matter, they want to see you succeed. They're not looking to root you on. They're not expecting for you to fuck up that presentation. They want to see you succeed. Mm-hmm. And so even if it takes a bit for you to feel comfortable, just knowing, and keeping true to that. And if those people aren't, and those people are rooting for your demise, then that's a situation that's not good for you. Mm-hmm. But the right situations, people want you to, and they'll give you feedback and things like that. But they'll also, they want to see you do well.
That's why everyone needs a work bestie. To hype you up.
A gut check person.
To hype you up, but also like be like, girl, whatever, reel it in or
reel it in. You're off the rails.
Yeah.
But I do like that where you said, hey, just check the facts.
Yeah.
Like really check that, remind yourself.
Yeah,
go to that
remind
kudos
yourself
folder. Because we do, sometimes start overthinking and overanalyzing. You really get into your mind sometimes, and tear yourself down, really.
I literally have a file called Why I Am the Shit. Like that is, it's on my work computer.
Yeah.
So, sorry, not sorry. And I just have whether it was a chat that I snipped and I've put it's just an evolving Word document, or things that I've remembered that I did. Like I had one of my, a member of my team was asked to do something that was like a month-long project for a different team. And of course, I encouraged her to do it, and she did it. But I quietly did all her work while she was devoted to this team, and I didn't say a word. I didn't, and everyone was singing her praises. And of course, I'm like fucking jazzed that my girl got to do this incredible project, and she's finally being recognized, even though I'd been screaming it from the rooftops for the last year. But I did want to make sure, though, that in my notes that I remembered, even though I don't need anyone else to know that I took care of her job quietly so she could succeed. And that sounds so silly. It sounds very I don't know. I'm hyping myself up, but I just needed it for myself.
Yeah.
I didn't need anyone else to know that, now that I'm telling the fucking world on a podcast. But but it was something for me to remember. So I could go back in my folder and go, hey, remember those 3 months that you did 2 people's jobs?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just things like that.
Yeah.
No, I love that. See, I think sometimes I'm looking at imposter syndrome or phenomenon.
Right.
It's just hard for me to say. Phenomenon.
It is. It's a hard. It's more
hard.
syllable-lateral.
It is. It's
Phenomena.
Yeah, I can say my mama.
Right.
But imposter, my mama. I think the core of it is this feeling that you're undeserving, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people say fake it till you make it with it, right? You're just going to fake it till you make it. And I've really lived that, in my career, just faking it till I make it. And, something that's helped me kind of break through imposter phenomenon is the recognition that no one knows what the hell they're doing. We really don't. And I know this for a fact because I've supported, like I've said before, CEO, the biggest guy. It's always been a guy. I've always supported the biggest guy. And they would turn to me and say, what the fuck do we do next? To me, of all people. And so that's when it's okay, well, I'm going to be this rock for this person, and I'm going to be that support. And that's part of my role, is to help coach them through that and lead them through that. But here it is, the billionaire leader asking someone like me, air quotes, right?
Yeah.
And so, I always remember things like that. When I start creeping into an imposter syndrome place, instantly I know, no one knows fuck. No one knows shit about fuck. No one knows anything. And then that it's I get a real quick realization. And it that's how I gut check myself. Remember how all those men had no clue what they were doing, and you got them out of that mess and kept them away from whatever legal trouble or saved the business literally, but got no recognition from it. Like all of those things, you know, I just like kind of easily recall. And that's why I like think badass bitch, you know what I mean? Like I remember that, you know, and I just remember how we are all just creating this as we go. There's no playbook, there's no script. And that always like brings me so much peace. Just, you know, remembering that like none of us know and it's okay. And I, you know, I don't know. And that's all right. I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm just going to figure it out is what it is. You know what I mean? Everything is figure it outable. And so, you know, that's my little tip, you know what I mean? Just remember that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I think like literally, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. People will DM me. Well, how do you have this account? How did you become an executive? How did you do this? You know what? I just kept showing the fuck up. I promise you. I kept showing the fuck up. I kept asking a lot of questions. I kept listening more than anything. I did my own research. I blood, sweat, and tears did. I had late nights and early mornings. I rolled my sleeves up and I just had a supportive community around me.
That's it.
I surrounded myself with positive people. I mean, but I just kept showing the fuck up. You know what I mean? But I didn't know shit. No one knows shit in the beginning. It is okay to not know a thing. It's not okay to not do nothing about it. You know what I mean? Literally, just take that messy action, right? Shout out to Kat Norton, you know, Miss Excel. Just start doing.
Show up,
start
doing.
Play,
go
start doing.
That's right.
We all start somewhere, you know?
Feel and do what feels authentic to you. Do not try to copy anybody else or copy the way they talk or they act or their career.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lean into your career quilt.
Yeah, I love that. That's really great advice, Ashley. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't have to copy paste anything. You really
please don't.
Yeah.
It's boring. It's boring. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't serve anybody. You'll never be as successful as the person you're copying, and you're going to look back and have regrets. Think, well, why didn't I try something different?
Yeah.
It's your journey. Own it.
Right. Try yourself on, right? Well, on that note, I love that. Any other comments on imposter syndrome? Oh, well, let's go ahead and transition into questions and comments. What do we got, ladies?
Well,
Any questions and
Lee,
comments?
you and I could do the exercise for Ashley.
Oh,
I love that.
Okay.
Because I feel, we need to.
You want to make Ashley cry now?
Probably.
Yeah, we need to
Weepy Wendy here.
Yeah, Weepy Wendy.
We need to have a moment. So if you were receiving an award, I would probably, I think your award would be, God, I was thinking about this before I asked this, but like, I want to list off adjectives first. So, you're incredibly thoughtful. You're very empathetic. You bring a positivity that I think is so necessary into situations. And also fucking incredibly talented, but also incredibly intelligent. And so a lot of times I sit here and I am in awe of both of you. And I
bunch of dorks with mics. Really, I'm a nerd, dude. I'm such a nerd.
So I really like you're the it girl, right? Like you have it all. And I think that's your superpower.
Yeah, I think your superpower, honestly, is your extroversion. It really is, right? I mean, the way you network and connect with people. To me, like when I think of Ashley, like I just think extreme extrovert. Like we joke how she's like the mayor of Dunwoody, you know, like where she lives. You know, like just, you know, everybody just knows you. But there's so much power in that because it is all about who you know. But the thing is that she doesn't exploit that power or use it for evil. She gives back to it as well, right? So, you know, it's like she does things for others too and helps connect other people, help share the wealth with other people. You know what I mean? Like it's very like communal in that extroversion. Because typically when you have a powerhouse networker, you know, they're just giving to themselves, right? You know, they're just, you know, just like eating through people, you know, but that's not the case at all. And I don't know that I've ever seen that in somebody.
And Ashley's the reason why all three of us are in this room. She brought all three of us together and
she's
the reason we have a successful podcast and we've built an incredible community of besties.
But I think her prize, honestly, would be newsletter master.
Oh God, yes.
I'm sorry. Like I'm so legit impressed, right?
Really,
like I'll text her, holy shit, that newsletter was fire. What the, how did you write that?
Every Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, Wednesday. The writing.
And also her manager method newsletters as well.
Like she's just a great writer. You know, she wanted to be a playwright, you know?
Yeah.
It's brilliant shit. You know what I mean?
I didn't make her cry.
Yeah. No, you didn't. No, I'm sorry. But I was, damn it. I was thinking thoughts inside my head to keep myself.
Margaret Thatcher on a cold day.
Machine gun job, please. Thank you all. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Of course, we love you.
Good to hear. Quite but I trust me. I do not say I have it all, but I might. I will give a shout out to the actual. In my term, actual mayor of Dunwoody.
Oh, yes.
Lynn Deutsch, who is my favorite political figure of all time. I'd have to say she's the mayor of my town, but she is a phenomenal communicator like you've never seen. Like she posts about different events, and I joke that I want to write a musical about Dunwoody and have a song called Mayor Lynn Deutsch, because people tag her in the shit on Facebook constantly. And I'm friends with Mayor Deutsch, and I will...
can I play her in the musical?
You
if
can,
you write it?
You can. And she's like such a wonderful leader, because she just, tag her, she comments, she just keeps up with this stuff. But that's it. That's her number one thing, is the communication. She's a fantastic communicator. And I think every leader could. And she just kind of does it in like your small, medium, I don't know, town. And I just, everyone knows, my kids laugh because I'm obsessed with her leadership, and I talk about it as an example. So I'm a big fan of that level of leadership, and it's just easy. Just communicate.
Someone send her this clip.
I will. Yes. I will. I'll show up at her office.
She's like, right, I know, exactly. Hi. With muffins.
Let's listen to this together. Maybe I'll get a Dunwoody shirt. That's my
a Dunwoody shirt.
What are you going to get?
Oh, gosh. Oh, it's my turn. No?
Yes.
All right. Well, not a question, but a quick comment. This is being filmed right now in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to San Antonio.
Yes. Ashley and I already want to move here.
Oh my God. I know. Sorry, Mayor Deutsch. Just as I say that, I love Dunwoody. I would
shout
love
out to Mayor Ron.
To move to San Antonio. Amazing.
I love him.
Amazing.
It is an amazing city, and I feel privileged to live here. Am I crying? So stupid.
No, it's not.
God.
It's not stupid.
Am I dreaming a puzzle?
We've seen a peek into how meaningful into how meaningful this city is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the community.
Yeah, that's right.
It's incredible.
But to share this community with you all, my HR besties community, is such a gift for me.
Yeah. It's been an incredible weekend. It's
like, will you all cry? Because I feel like this is our last episode of this season. That's why I'm crying too. Okay.
Like, we love.
We
talked about this, but if you're just listening, so we don't live in the same city. Jamie's in Nashville. I'm in Atlanta. He's in San Antonio, and being here. There's something, this is why I said there's something to be said at work when you feel comfortable in showing things yourself. And so Jamie and I both said, we've gotten together, like, we text literally easy. I need a whole data plan
a day,
based on this. But coming here and seeing her town and or city, maybe, I don't know if it's
a city.
But the community, the community, and seeing this, you just see it, and like Lee is the San Antonio personified, the level of community and care, and it's really been wonderful to be here and spending time together. Like earlier, we were going to record episodes, and then like a live band for a church service literally was on the adjoining wall, and we were like, we pulled an audible and went and like hung out for 2 hours, like walking around,
started drinking. So we are a little buzzed too. Okay, just at our phones.
It's just I love these, I love these women so much, and it is a privilege to be here. But it really is a privilege to be here
in San Antonio
and see this layer of you.
Yeah. I mean, we adore it. Like, San Antonio is one of those places people ask where I'm from. People will go around the room, introducing themselves. I say San Antonio. People, oh, San Antonio. I just love it. I've never had anyone be like, fuck that town. But other cities, every other city gets that, but there's something special here, and it is very communal, and we do take pride in our town, and we do love it. So I love it. Born and raised here. It's a very precious place that we all hold dear. So it's nice to share it.
Yeah.
Thank
you. It was very nice to share it.
So
thank you so much for coming.
Inviting us and hosting us this weekend.
Yes.
And thank you.
And if you haven't been, please come and visit.
Seriously, please come. Seriously. We have so many recommendations. I'll include some of those in our newsletter this week, and of some of these that we highly recommend. But also thank you all for those, listening, whether in your car, whether you're listening to the team, like just letting us come in and sharing this. It means so much to us to share this. And if you feel like you are part of our community, and so everyone that's listening, this is why we do it, and we keep showing up. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you very much.
In our matching jammies.
And we're wearing matching jammies.
We are wearing our matching jammies.
Lee's worst nightmare has come true. Our dream.
Yes. So great. Oh gosh. But no, we thank you. Wonderful words, Ashley, to close out this meeting. Thank you so much for joining us, besties, and we will see you next meeting.